John Mateer playing under center is interesting. John Mateer working with Sam Bradford in the offseason on footwork, encouraging. But neither is the most important thing George Stoia's report in SoonerScoop Friday revealed about the Oklahoma offense. Because if the Sooners are serious about using play action under center, they have to give the defense something to react to. And that tells us Ben Arbuckle, Kevin Wilson, and the offensive staff may be preparing to feature running backs this season, and in a more physical offense than Mateer's ever played in. According to reporting from SoonerScoop's George Stoia, Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer took only 36 of 793 snaps in 2025 from under center, most of those coming in short yardage situations or when taking a knee. But Mateer himself indicated this week that Oklahoma expects that number to increase, possibly significantly. And that's at least part of the reason Mateer worked so extensively on footwork under center and eye discipline during the offseason, with workout partners that included former Sooner quarterback Sam Bradford, among others. Now, clearly, this isn't Oklahoma scrapping Ben Arbuckle's offensive scheme and installing the 1995 Dallas Cowboy playbook. Shotgun will remain the foundation that OU plays offense on. But apparently, the Sooners will be adding a tool that can change how defenses have to prepare for them. The part nobody seems to be emphasizing is that under center play action is only dangerous when the run action creates a genuine conflict for a defense. This comes from running plays from a same personnel grouping and initial formation. In other words, Oklahoma could do something like handing the ball to the running back, running outside zone, or maybe a downhill gap concept. Or they could boot Mateer away from the run action, or hit an intermediate crossing route behind linebackers. You might leak a tight end or H-back into space. You could even let Mateer keep the ball if the defense overcommits. At the end of the day, everything looks the same, though. Now, one important nuance to consider is that OU doesn't necessarily have to dominate the running game first. Modern play action can remain effective without a string of successful runs, but the formation, personnel, and action must present a believable running threat. The defense doesn't necessarily need to be terrified of the previous run, but it has to believe that the next handoff is real. That means OU must actually run the ball from these looks, and often enough that linebackers and safeties don't automatically dismiss the fake. Why this matters specifically for Mateer? This could address several of his weaknesses at one time. First off, it creates cleaner and more defined reads. It moves linebackers and opens intermediate passing lanes, and it produces deeper pockets through traditional dropbacks. Another thing it does is allow for half-field reads off of bootlegs, and it reduces the temptation to abandon the pocket immediately if nothing's wide open. It does another thing that he likes to do anyway, creates designed opportunities for Mateer to run the ball himself. It's no secret that Mateer has been at his best during his career when he basically was the running game. At the very least, he was one of the major threats in the run game for every team he played for. And it's obviously unrealistic to expect that Mateer's all of a sudden going to stop being a runner in his final year in college. Truth be told, you probably don't want to take away one of his best abilities as a player. But by employing more play action concepts into the scheme, Oklahoma allows Mateer to continue to be a threat in the run game. College football season is here, so if you're going to talk that talk on Saturdays, might as well wear the colors. Head over to the Hall of Fame College Football Pod Merch store and grab your Hall of Fame gear. Shirts, hoodies, hats, and more, made for the people who believe college football isn't just a sport, it's a way of life. And when you rock Hall of Fame gear, you're doing more than repping the show. You're helping us keep building independent college football coverage, more shows, more road trips, more interviews, and more of the content you come here for every week. So go to hofmedia.us/pod-merch. That's hofmedia.us/pod-merch. Rep the game, support the show, and welcome to Hall of Fame College Football. But it stops asking him to be Oklahoma's rushing identity. That means less exposure to punishing hits by SEC linebackers and safeties, which will no doubt be keying on Mateer after he led Oklahoma in rushing in 2025. We all know that the broken thumb he sustained in Week 4 against Auburn came on a pass play, but Mateer came into the week banged up after 3 weeks of heavy run usage that exposed him to big hits, one of which forced him to leave OU's final possession in Philadelphia against Temple. A legitimate running back threat would force defenses to honor someone besides number 10. And with a quarterback room almost devoid of experience at this level behind him, it makes sense for Arbuckle's offensive staff to devise ways to keep Mateer upright. You don't spend an offseason teaching your quarterback under center footwork merely because it looks more professional. You do it because you intend to attach an actual scheme to it, which suggests that Oklahoma is planning more workload for its running backs, like true downhill handoffs with Mateer's back to the defense, and run concepts that develop faster than simple shotgun mesh points, which allows Dalen McCullough's promising young running back room increased opportunities to punish like boxes. And all of this promotes a stronger marriage between the pass and run games. The best play-action offenses don't have a run play and a pass play. They make both of the plays look identical until the defense has already made the wrong decision. This is especially meaningful in the SEC, where defensive fronts can wreak havoc against obvious drop-back passing games. Oklahoma cannot survive by asking Mateer to rescue broken plays every Saturday in 2026. What you can't do is expect that Oklahoma is completely getting away from the shotgun, because that is still the foundation of this offense. Plus, Mateer's learning footwork that he's hardly ever used in his career, and turning away from the defense changes his post-snap process from anything he's known in the past. Under center timing has to be synchronized between the running backs and offensive line. The offensive line have to make the run action look credible, and Arbuckle has to call the accompanying handoffs not merely under center as play action giveaway. So yes, John Mateer developing NFL-style footwork is a good thing. Working with Sam Bradford is also a good thing. Giving the quarterback cleaner pockets and clearer reads could be a great thing. But the best news may be what isn't being directly said. Oklahoma appears to be designing an offense in which the running backs matter enough to make the play fake credible. If that's true, this isn't merely a new wrinkle for Mateer. It could be evidence that Ben Arbuckle and his staff are building a more complete and much more dangerous SEC offense. But hey, do you believe Oklahoma is finally preparing a true running back-driven ground game? Or is this under center package just another preseason wrinkle that disappears once the real games begin? Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see you on the next one. We'll see you on the next one.